Hello and welcome back to Budget with Becca. In this video we are going to be closing out my budget for the month of March. I'm actually doing this a little later than I wanted to, but I had 3 paychecks in the month of March, so I wanted to make sure I got that last one before I closed out my budget for the month of March. So the last paycheck came on the 31st of March, so now I'm filming this the first weekend of April. So we're just going to go through my emergency fund, all my savings trackers, and my debt payoff, and then see what the next month is going to look like and my calendar. All right, so stick around. Alrighty, so I think this is going to be a really quick video because there's not too much to update on, but before I get started into my trackers, I just want to show off my new nails. I just got them done yesterday. I wanted a nice color for spring, even though it was snowing here where I am this morning. I am excited for spring to come in the month of April, so I kind of went with this pointy shape. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it, but we'll give it a ride and test ride it and see how it goes. So let's get started on the tracker. So for my savings challenge, I completed all of the Saturdays where I put the $200 towards it for the month of March. Now, if you watched my last video, I said for my last paycheck that covers the first 2 weeks in April, that I wouldn't be putting any money towards my savings challenge because my pay was cut in half, and there's reasons. Just go watch that video for why I explain it there. So because of that, I'm not putting any money towards my savings challenge, and I put a huge lump sum towards my emergency fund. What I'm thinking for the month of April is to just complete my emergency fund and then put whatever leftover money after that towards my savings challenge and then pick it up again, because I think having too many things going is just giving me too many options, and so I'd rather just focus on one and then move on to the other. So speaking of that, my emergency fund, I have reached now $1,230. The fund envelope is nice and full. I'm going to hopefully do a big reveal when I've reached the finish line, so I'm hoping by the end of April I'll have that amount, and then I'll count that all for you on a video. So that's the goal. So my emergency fund, I want to have $5,000 in. I already have $3,000 right now, and my goal is to get another $2,000 to make it a full $5,000. So even though it says starter emergency fund, it's just kind of my full emergency fund to cover my expenses. So that is the plan. Hopefully by the end of April that will happen. So for right now, I'll put a pause on my savings challenge and continue with my emergency fund. Now my next tracker is my debt payoff. So for that, I have been sending $1,400 towards my parents. My parents kind of paid off all my debt in one lump sum so that I pay them the amount. So I still have debt to pay. It's just they paid it, my student loans and some other things, some random ones all together. So it was $50,000. And so what I was saying with that is I send $1,400 a month. Now I mentioned with this tracker, I put it as $500 a piece just because it make the math easier, but I am tracking it on the back to know the exact amount. So $1,400, March 2022, sorry, $1,400. So now total I've put towards debt is $4,200. So I have 2 trackers that I use. I like this one just because I'm coloring in more and I like the Detrus aspect of it, but this one is also easier to follow and track as I go along. So I have 2 of those sheets. And that is all of my tracker updates, the emergency fund and the savings challenge. So for my last few cash stuffings, I haven't actually done a video beforehand showing my full budget breakdown. So I thought I would just show quickly through going through my budget planner now, just to kind of get everyone caught up to see where I'm at. So I'll start at the end of February, beginning of March. I had a difference of $376.75, and so that just rolled over. Oh, actually, sorry, I was in the red with that because I had credit card payment and my car insurance. All of that started at once, but I did have a buffer in that account. So then it brings me into middle of March where I had a rollover of extra $45. I did not use my credit card for this at all this time period, and that was my goal for the month of March, use credit card less because of the payment I had at the beginning of March. So I really have stuck with that goal and done a really good job with that. Just because I like using my credit card, but sometimes I forget to pay it off in the sense of like use the money from here to pay it off. And then I just have the money in my account that I have to move over instead of taking it out of my cash envelopes. So I'm just trying to be more on top of that. If I'm using my credit card for anything, I'm putting that cash from these categories right to pay it off. And so I've been on that track. So for this, I was up $45 and I was able to put $400 towards my savings challenge. And then that brings me into end of March. This was also when I came back from my trip, so I had a little bit of rollover left over again, and I started a new system within my wallet. Instead of having a whole bunch of dividers in my wallet, I just put one divider, and that's just my wallet category. And so I put the 200 there, and I had a lot of rollover, and I put that straight to my emergency fund, which was amazing. So 130 towards my emergency fund. You can see the minus amount here because I was a little over, I believe it was on gas or one of my debt payments, but because I had that extra, I was able to balance it out there. Okay, so to wrap up this video, I will just show you the calendar for the month of April for me. I've heard from a lot of people that they really enjoy, and it's really successful for them to highlight the weeks that pay covers, which helped me a lot because I thought this last pay at the end of March wasn't going to cover much, but I was able to see, even though it was in March, how much it was covering before my next pay. So I put a car payment, made sure I budgeted for that, and my insurance was already covered from the money I had saved from before. So even though I have these little money icons, and that is for my savings challenge, I think I'm just gonna not do that this pay and just put all that extra money and that savings towards my my emergency fund, towards my emergency fund. And I think once that's set up and saved, then I can start putting back towards my savings challenge. So this is what the month of April looks like. I had the pay at the end of March, and I have the two pays at the middle and end of April. It's going to be weird having the pays this far in the month because then next month will be the same for May. It'll be middle and end of the month, but it's just something I'm going to have to get used to. But it still covers my car payment and my debt, and it helps me really lay out the plan for that month. So there it is. All right, so that's the end of my wrap up for the month of March. I hope everyone's having a great start to their month of April. It's so crazy that we're already in our 4th month of this year, but that's really exciting because I'm ready for the snow to be gone and I'm ready for spring to come. Like I said, I had a little bit of snow this morning, but I know warm weather is coming up in the future. So for the month of April, everything is laid out and so far going as scheduled. For my next video, I really want to do a bill swap because a lot of the bills in my sinking funds are either really big or there's a lot of cash in here. So I'm debating on creating placeholders, but also condensing some of that and just having 50s or 100s. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of my own research on how to do a bill swap, but hopefully I will do my own and have that video out for you for next weekend. So I hope you all have a great start to your month of April. If you have not done so already, please like and subscribe. Every time I come on these videos, this channel is growing and we are so close to 100 subscribers, which is so exciting. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and I will chat with you next time. Bye.